Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. This retreat, let us name it something. And we call this retreat as on the top of the world. This is what I was introduced about this place. That Swamiji, we are going to a place which is the topmost point in Malaysia. And for us, Malaysia is the world. So let us be on the top of the world. When somebody asked me this question, Swamiji, whenever we ask you, you always reply, how are you? You fire. I am on the top of the world. But can you please tell me what is the meaning of being on the top of the world? Top of the world means the world is under my foot. When we are no more disturbed by the world, then we are on the top of the world. Then the question comes, where from the world begins? Be very attentive. Where from the world begins? When we were snoring away last night, when we were in sound sleep, you know the meaning of sound sleep? Sleep for ourselves, sound for the public. It's called as the sound sleep. That sleep which produces sound is called as sound sleep. Okay. There was a man, he went to the doctor and told the doctor, Doctor Sahab, I snore so loudly that because of my sleep, my snoring, my sleep gets disturbed. What should I do? So doctor said, go and sleep in the other room. See? So when we were in sound sleep last night, that time, where were we? We were in Malaysia or India or Japan. And when we were, was it 2009 or 1947? That time we were man or woman. That time we were husband or wife. That time we were father or son. We were none. That time world was not there. And when the world is not there, we are happy. And in that experience, we are Mr. Nobody. So where the world begins? The world begins the moment the mind starts manifesting. See friends, when the mind manifests, somebody is born. So husband is born, wife is born, son is born, daughter is born. See? And whenever we complain, normally we hear these complaints from the people that, Swamiji, whenever I sit for meditation, there are too many thoughts, too many disturbances. What is the reason? How to stop that? What is this electronic onkar? Stop. So, too many thoughts come, what should we do? So the thoughts come in your mind. So you do whatever you like. What can I do for your mind? No, I feel very angry. What should I do? Okay, I will eat food on your behalf. See, we have to live our life. We have to die our death. There is nobody who can have a proxy for our life and death. Similarly, if we want to be on the top of the world, we have to get out of this catch called as mind. Being nobody is on the top of the world. Being somebody is in the midst of the world. See? And this is what we will try to learn. To be on the top of the world. And for this, as a support for our thoughts, we will take 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we will get sufficient data to work upon, and as per the schedule goes here, we will have 10 sessions. In 10 sessions, you will be left with no choice but to be on the top of the world. Provided you cooperate. Provided you cooperate. Not the other way around. Okay, we are a challenge to you. So many Mahatmas have come and gone. Nobody could change me. Now you try. Don't give me a challenge. See, we will be told in this chapter, Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripur Atmanaha. We are our friend. We are our enemy. See, friends. Therefore, let us be fully available. Not half-heartedly. See, this is one of the biggest spiritual practice. Chanting Bhagavad Gita, mind is running all over the world. Saying the japa, Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram. That Sri Ram Garu, I have given him money, he has never returned. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai. These are all the cartoons. See. The one of the biggest spiritual practices, very important friends, learn to be yourself fully available whatever you do. Such a simple thing. When we are eating, our mind is running all over. This happened in Shimla many years before. That time I was young. And I went to somebody's house for food. And that lady who took me, the moment I entered their house, I felt very funny kind of atmosphere. So she says, Swami, be seated, I'll just get the things ready. I said, okay, take your own time. And then I saw TV. So I started the TV. And some Hindi filmy songs were coming. And I was enjoying. So when the Hindi cinema songs came, like, the rats coming out of the hole, like that, all the kids and people started coming from the different rooms. They say, hey, now this house looks filled. Otherwise, there was only furniture, nobody to sit on. And then when they came, I asked, I said, hey, is this Madhubala? Swamiji, this is not Madhubala. This is Madhuri Dikshit. I said, no, yeah, this is Madhubala. And slowly, the eyes started thawing. Then the songs. Who said this song? Is it that this is sung by K.L. Sehgal? So, Swamiji, this is a woman's voice. This is Lata Mangeshkar. Oh, like that. All our barriers were burned. We merged with each other. Food came. And as my tradition goes, I called every child, food, fed them from my plate, everybody. After I gave everybody food, then I started eating. And then, after food was over, then the boy asked me a question. Swamiji, Dadi Ma does namaskar to you. She doesn't do namaskar to me, the boy said. And I don't see any difference between you and me. You ate the same food which I am eating. You are sitting on the dining table, I am sitting on the dining table. You watch TV, I watch TV. You talk about cinema actresses, I talk about cinema actresses. And you eat from the same plate and you eat with the same hand. What is the difference between you and me? I said, you ask Mom, Dadi Ma, what can I tell you? No. Dadi Ma should do namaskar to me also. I said, Mama, do namaskar to him. She gave one. You stupid, talk like this? Then I said, look here. You know what Dadi Ma is trying to tell you? The difference between you and me is this. When you eat, that time you remember cricket match. When you are watching cricket match, then you remember your studies. When you are studying, then you remember your movie. When you are watching the movie, then you remember you have to go to gym. And when you are in the gym, you forget you have not gone to the toilet and you run to the toilet. Is it not? Oh God, Swamiji, you are just giving my whole picture. I said, is it true? Yes, it is true. I said, what we do. When I eat, I eat. When I talk, I talk. When I sleep, I sleep. When I play. This is the only difference between you and me. Friends, all spiritual practices, we have to learn to be present 100% in every expression. 100% presence is bliss. Partial presence is blister. See? Why it is blister? Because our mind is tortured. We are not in the present. See? Now like you are sitting over here. Now for example, our Prabhat Maharaj, he has to organize. Do you think he is present here 100%? He is not present here 100%. He is sitting here, but in his mind it is going on. Lunch ke liye kya banaya? Aloo banaya ki gobi banaya? And when it will be said, Om, he will say aloo. See friends, therefore it is necessary for us to learn that the world begins when the mind overpowers us. We are on the top of the world when the mind is under our perfect control. Friends, for keeping the health, we have to take pains and we have to put efforts, is it not? For getting a disease, what efforts we have to put? It automatically comes. See? For keeping the figure, how much efforts we have to put? For making the figure round, what efforts we have to put? In the same manner, for keeping the mind healthy and under our perfect control, we have to put systematic efforts. Only by wishful thinking it will not happen. See friends, therefore in these 10 talks, we'll try to go beyond the mind. And for that, when we start the 6th chapter, naturally we have to know what happened in earlier 5 chapters. See? Can you start a letter like this? Therefore, you cannot start a letter therefore. You have to have some background. Is it not? So when Bhagavan Krishna started the 6th chapter, suddenly Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, why did he start? See? So what was that was said and happened in the first 5 chapters of Gita, and what we have to learn to practice in life? All of us have a common problem. And the common problem is that we are self-centered. We have to be self-oriented. That's the difference. Being self-centered, everything, I. You know, in our India, we have got a bank. ICICI. And do you know the meaning of ICICI? I means I, C means confused. I confuses. Second I, again I, crisis. So the first I is I confuse, second I C is identity crisis. And this is what I is. See friends, unless this I is sorted out, we will never be on the top of the world. We will be in the crowd. To bring this point to our knowledge, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita talks about a disease called as identity crisis. See? All of us are miserable only because of this one disease called as identity crisis. As to what we are. As a father, which father doesn't know what are his duties? As a son or a daughter, which son or a daughter doesn't know what is her duty? As a teacher, which teacher doesn't know what is his duty? As a student, which student know what is his duty? So as regards our duties are concerned, we are not short of knowledge. We all know. And yet we go the wrong way. What is the reason? The reason is, for a very short moment, we suddenly forget our identity. And in that short spell of self-forgetfulness, something wrong happens. Thereafter, regrets the whole life. I don't know why did I do that. See? This identity has to be corrected. And when this is not corrected, we are labeled by a disease called as Arjunitis. See? You know, itis means what? It is inflammation, is it not? Inflammation means what? When we are swollen in our ego, it is called as Arjunitis. We are all suffering from Arjunitis. And how it is? Wherever there is unhealthy swelling because of the inflammation, you touch that, how painful it is. So whenever we are hurt, whenever we are miserable, our ego has swollen disproportionately. And as a result, small little things are enough to upset us. See, friends. And when we are upset, we will never see the things as they are. See? Upset means what? That which is not set up. So Bhagavad Gita tells us, don't be upset in life. Set up your life. And we have to start from ourselves. See? The technical term for the spiritual life is Adhyatma Shastra. Adhyatma means concerning the self. But for us, Adhyatma is what? Spirituality is what? Teach others. The other day, who asked me this question? Swami, these days, do you think that there are many people who are becoming spiritual? I asked him, since when you are going for satsang? I will not tell you lies, Swamiji, only for last 6 months. So, because you are going to the satsang, that therefore you think there are more people in the satsang. When you are not going, it was the same thing. We look at the world, what we have seen ourselves. See? Therefore, friends, please remember, the first problem Bhagavad Gita tells in the first chapter is identity crisis. What was identity crisis for Arjun? His problem was, how can I kill my grandfather and my guru? Katham bhishmamaham sankhe dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. He Madhusudana, he Arisudana. Two names he addresses Bhagwan. Madhusudana means the one who is the killer of the demon Madhu, and Arisudana is the one who is the killer of the enemies. And you ask me to kill my guru and my grandfather, thereby I will get also a title, Guru Sudana Arjun. See, Dronacharya was his guru. Therefore, how can I kill them? Forget about killing. Pratiyotsyami means even if they attack me, I cannot retaliate them because they are worthy of worship. Suppose my dad gives me one hard, will I catch his hand and give him another one? No. So pratiyotsyami, I cannot even rebound, retaliate. So how can I fight this war? See? And therefore, what is the best way? Drop out. Please understand, Bhagavad Gita is not for those who are dropouts of life. Bhagavad Gita is for those who are successful, but the success they are not able to digest. And that indigestion of the success makes a person extremely arrogant, and that arrogance brings him down at the bottom of the world. See, friends, it is easier to digest failure in life. It is very difficult to digest success in life. See, friends, Arjuna was the most successful man of his time. Therefore, it is necessary, now leave it, everything. Mahatma Ji, I told na right in the beginning.
Make some notes.
It is not your fault. It is manufacturer's defect. See, notes you will get this DVD, so don't have to worry. Now relax. Don't even write anything. Otherwise your mind will run here and there. Just don't write anything. So, when Arjuna was in this fix, and he has given such a beautiful logic in the first chapter. How can somebody kill his nears and dears and be happy? See? And as if Bhagavan Krishna did not know what is Dharma Shastra. So he started teaching Bhagavan Sri Krishna the Dharma Shastra. See? This will happen, that will happen in the war, many people will be killed. Naturally, in the war, it's not a delivery room. People will be killed. What is great about it? And there will be bloodshed. Naturally, there can't be a milkshake. There will be bloodshed. See? And such a terrible war. See? One has to very clearly understand that whenever we are confused and confounded, we hide our confusion and confounding mind under the disguise of being a goody. These superficial goodies are very dangerous. See, friends, we have to be practical in life. Without being practical, we cannot grow spiritually. See? So when Arjuna has said so many things, that killing near and dear is bad, etc., etc. Throughout the first chapter, Bhagavan Krishna kept quiet. Go ahead. And in the second chapter, Bhagavan, when he started giving him left and right. He did not talk to Arjuna a very goody language. Dekho beta, we have come here for, fighting the war. After the war is over, we'll get ice cream, okay? Now fight. You cannot talk sense to a nonsense person. See, friends, there was a friend of mine, and he was liquid spiritualist, always highly intoxicated. And one day when I was coming from somewhere, I found him lying near a gutter, halfway in the gutter, halfway outside. So when I looked at him, I said, hey, what are you doing? Come on, yaar, tu bhi aa ja. Itte badi maja hai. Please come here. It's a great joy here. Come. Now he was so much intoxicated, he couldn't realize what he is doing. Now to him, can I talk a sensible language? My dear friend, you are a son of such and such person. Does it look good for you? See? Hey, please leave it now. Just leave it and only listen. I am comfortable in this chair.
We are very hot outside. After you went out.
Now it's okay. Now come and sit down.
Bring it in, cool it down.
Yes.
Okay.
Relax. This is how our mind play tricks, my friend. So, when Arjuna has this person, my friend, when he was in that particular condition, can I talk to him a language of sense? He will not understand. So what did I do? I caught hold of his necktie. That is the only purpose necktie is for. Otherwise, necktie cannot be used even for cleaning the nose. It is so hard and small. You can't wipe your face because it is very little, no absorbent. And it cannot have any other purpose except when you fall in the gutter, you can fish him out. So I used that necktie and fished him out and gave him one hard. When I gave him one heart, he couldn't realize what happened because he was already super realized. Then I took a taxi, dumped in the taxi, took him to his house. After 2-3 days, his phone came, Swamiji, thank you so much. For what? For the hard one. See friends, Arjuna was so much under delusion, crying, disgusted, frustrated to that Arjuna. There was no sense in talking a language of sense. So Bhagavan said, Klaibhyam masmagama partha na etatvai upapadyate kshudram hrudaya daurubalyam tyaktvotishtha parantapa. Hey Arjun, don't yield to impotency. What is impotency? Impotency is lack of enthusiasm. Success is possible in life when we function under the intoxication of inspiration, not perspiration. वो करना है, अरे राम राम राम. You begin the day in a wrong gear. See, when you start your car, suppose you are up the hill and you have to go up, and you start and put directly in the 4th gear, it will start coughing. Our day starts in a wrong gear. See, in the morning, somebody has to come and wake us up. Jago mohan pyare. No, mummy, again, mummy comes, beta, please get up. You have to go to school. You have to go to school. No, mummy, I will not go to school. I will not go to school. No. Again, mummy comes, beta, you have to go to school. Please get up. It is getting late. No, I will not go. But why don't you go? Oh, there is strike and students and teachers. Everybody is useless. I don't want to go. Anyway, you have to go. Come on, get up. But why should I go? Mother says, because you are the principal of the school. My dear son, get up and go. Now tell me, if such a is the principal of the school, what will be the quality of the students? See? We have to begin our day in an inspired mood. See friends, so if we want to be on the top of the world, principle number 1, we have to be inspired every moment. Never take life as a burden. See? So when you have to eat, eat with inspiration. If you have to sleep, sleep with inspiration. Our condition, even sleep is disgusting. We go and lie down on the back, shavasana, padani nini ari, and then we turn to the left. And there also there is no sleep. Then we turn to the right. Then there is no sleep. Then there is a bhujangasana. Then there is also no sleep. And then there is only one alternative. Either stand on the feet or on the head. All other options are over. See? For anything that we do, we lack inspiration. See friends, inspiration begins from the spirit. Perspiration begins from the matter. When somebody is inspired, you feel like going, hugging and kissing. When somebody is perspired, dur raho jara, keep away, keep away. Because stinking, when our life stinks, we are not inspired in life. Therefore, Bhagavan gives one heart to Arjuna. Klaibhyam asmagama partha na etatvai upapadyate. Now why this inspiration we lack? Kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam. Because our heart is constantly failing. See friends, our heart fails only because in our heart, instead of the Sham, Mr. Kam is seated. Who is sitting in our heart? I want this, I want that, I want... See? More the desires we carry as a load in our heart, weaklings we become. See? Shudram hrudaya daurubalyam tyaktva. Give it up and uttishta. And arise and awake. Stop not till the goal is reached. Kathopanishad says, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata Kshurasya Dhara Nishita Duratya Durgam Pathastat Kavayo Vadanti. It is a path not for those who are good for nothing. See, once it happened about meditation. In Bombay, all the judges of Bombay court, they had invited me for giving a talk on meditation. So when I went, about 150, 200 of them. And I said, anyway, we have to give some title to our talk, isn't it? Like we gave here, on the top of the world. So there, what title should we give? Swamiji, we can have meditation for stress relief. I said, no. We'll have, do justice to meditation, because you are all judges. What is the justice to meditation? Justice to meditation is, there was a young man, went to the gym. He had a fractured leg and spondylosis in the neck, and the shoulder joint was dislocated, and he has asthma, and he went to the gym and told, I want to learn weightlifting. So the gym operator told him, okay, come here, pay the fees, 500 rupees, paid the fees. Now you start lifting papad. Because you are not capable. In the same manner, we have the wrong understanding that when we are good for nothing, we are good for meditation. When we are good for nothing, we are good for spirituality. Spirituality is not a refuge for the unqualified. It is not a reservation. See, friends, therefore, unless we have complete control over mind, to imagine that we are walking spiritual path is a self-deception. Therefore, when Arjuna said the first thing, Arjun, don't live in this world without inspiration. So begin your day in an inspired mood. Today is going to be the best day of my life. See? The whole attitude will change. Klaibhyam asma gama partha na etat vai upapadyate. This doesn't suit you. After having said this, then Bhagavan gives him very simple and common sense tips. Spirituality is not a serious affair. The more common sense we have, more spiritual we are. See, my commentary on first and second chapter. First chapter is, it is called as Common Sense Upanishad, first chapter. Second chapter is called as Lack of Common Sense. The whole Bhagavad Gita is interpreted on a common sense basis. So here Bhagavan gives a common sense. First, Ashoccha nanvashocastvam pradnya vadamscha bhashase gatasu na gatasoscha nanushocanti panditaha. Arjun, you are talking like a wise man. What does it mean? You are otherwise. There are 108 places in Bhagavad Gita. There are 108 jokes. If you can find out jokes in Bhagavad Gita, you really love Bhagavan Krishna. And if you are constantly crying on every issue, then Bhagavan Krishna will not look at you. He is a good friend of mine, he tells me that. I don't like those crying fellows. Do you also like anybody who is constantly crying? Somebody comes to you and says, first time you listen. Second time again the same CD, MP3 goes on. So you take an old newspaper, put it upside down and read it. This is just a message, gentleman's message. And after that is over, again the third time the same person comes, the same then, okay, please keep sitting, I have to go to bathroom. It is more peaceful than to sit in front of you. See? We don't like anybody constantly complaining. The same way, Bhagavan does not like anybody who is complaining. Bhagavan says in the same chapter, Prasanna chetaso yashu buddhi paryavatishtate. The one who is of cheerful disposition, he alone can think of God. See, the one who is miserable, imagine, you have a root canal. And with a root canal, use it for meditation. What is this? This is root canal mudra. You can't have meditation with that disgusted pain. Therefore, Bhagavan says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you are talking like a wise man, but behaving like a fool. Ashochan anvashochastvam pradnya vadamscha bhashase. And who is the wise man? Gatasuna gatasunshcha nanu shochanti panditaha. The wise one is the one who never grieves, who is never miserable. Doesn't mean miseries don't reach him. Miseries reach him, but he refuses to be miserable. See, friends. And for what we are miserable? We are miserable for when somebody dies, we are miserable. When somebody doesn't die, we are miserable. Marta bhi nahi. See, friends, once it happened somewhere in India, after my lecture was over, one very elderly Swamiji Maharaj came. That time I was young. I was not a Buddha. So he came and he took me aside. He said, Swamiji, you are younger than me? I said, yes, I am younger than you. You should not talk on Bhagavad Gita so lightly. See, Bhagavad Gita is a Shastra, Grantha. It has to be respected. I said, okay, hereafter I will cry. Katham Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami. See? So I didn't say, okay, I will not do that. My friend was there. He said, Swamiji, why didn't you tell him the facts? I said, look here, he is elder than me. One of the most important principles of life. We don't have to teach, advise, to improve the elders. Elders are the altars of reverence. That for what? You see defects, you cannot respect. It is said that when we have a statue of Lord, let us say Bhagavan Krishna, standing there with the Murli in his hand, and if his small finger is broken, you will not see Krishna, you will see only the broken finger. Therefore, it is said that any idol or vigraha which has got any defect is not used for doing the puja. It is our human mind. We see only the defects, not the right things. In the same manner, if we start seeing defects or something wrong in our elders, they are not at loss. We are at a loss because we have lost an altar of reverence in our life. Yes, therefore, what he said is okay. Let's keep quiet. You don't have to agree. You can disagree by agreeing immediately. Simplest way. No, but I want to know what is the difference. I said, look here. If you have studied Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly mentioned. When Arjuna Das was crying, that time, how Bhagavan Krishna spoke, Sanjay says, Prahasan iva Bharata. Bhagavan Krishna delivered his complete discourse with a smile on the face. The original discourse was with a smile on the face. Who can smile? He who has divinity within. He who has got a devil within can never smile. See? And when the devil is functioning, we are not happy. When we are not happy, we are not creative, we are destructive. See? Therefore, to be on the top of the world is to be happy 100%. And when you are 100% happy, you are a real creative force. Can somebody say like this thing, darling, I am so happy today, I want to pluck your head and throw in the garbage. Can somebody say like that? See, friends, Bhagavad Gita tells you how to discover your own blissful self. See? So, gata suna gata suscha nanu shochanti panditaha. The wise one is the one who is never miserable in life. How simple it is. This is common sense. Miseries may come to us. And we all have default settings. You know, all operate computers, isn't it? We have all default settings. I as a husband, the cause of my misery, default setting, wife. I as a wife, the cause of my misery, default setting, husband. I as a father, the cause of my misery is the kids. I as a kid, the cause of my misery, dad, damn, always problematic. See, we have no problem about fixing the responsibility. The real joy is, let the miseries come to us, but we are all miserable by our choice. If you refuse to be miserable, even God cannot make you miserable. See? Like, while I was coming with that Amma, he said, see, that fellow has suddenly got the car inside. How do you react to this thing? I said, why should we react? We have to learn not to react in this world. When I become miserable because of anybody, that anybody is powerful than me. See? Let the difficulties be there. Why should I become miserable? Let it be going like that. What is most important for me is my peace of mind. If you put on a scale our peace of mind on one side and the whole world on the other side, which is more valuable for us? Our peace of mind. And that is what we lose. And this is what is identity crisis. What is the crisis? That how can I kill my grandfather, my guru? Means what? If it is your grandfather and your guru, I can go and I have no problem. This is the crisis. Therefore, let us see, the first common sense is, nothing can justify that you are miserable. Nothing. One day, one lady in Bombay, after my lecture was over, she was so angry, came and caught hold of my collar. Thank God I don't have one. Probably that is the reason I don't have collar. What is there for you to be all the time? Don't be miserable, don't be miserable. Be happy, be happy. Get married and show. Means what? Getting married is a license, like you have got driving license. No? So this getting married is a maddening license. Become mad throughout life. See? Therefore, don't justify yourself being miserable. Wise are those who are never miserable. Now, the second thing he tells, look here, in this world, every experience is temporary. Any experience you take, whether it's good or bad. Like our lecture started at 10:15. It will be over, don't worry. Thank God. See? Any experience, let it be good or bad. Matra sparashastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama apayina ataha anityaha tantitikshasva bharata. Any experience, be it good or bad, it starts, it remains, it ends. Therefore, it is temporary. Because of the temporary experience, to become permanently miserable is the height of foolishness. See? How simple. It's just a common sense. Therefore, what is to be done? Tan titikshasva bharata. What cannot be cured must be endured. See? There is no cure for diabetes, is it not? So what do? We live with the diabetes. How do we live? We become sweet instead of eating the sweet. See? Why don't you take sweet? No, Swamiji, I have diabetes. Oh, you started your own. What? Sugar factory. Because you started your sugar factory, your import license is cancelled. If you have got your own house, you will not get a quarter from the government. In the same manner, let us accept it. See, what cannot be cured should be endured. It is a pessimistic cry. Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about pessimism. What cannot be endured must be enjoyed. Those who can laugh at themselves, they alone can smile at the world. If you don't laugh at yourself, that job will be done by others. Somebody has to laugh. Isn't it? Once it happened in Australia on Coffs Harbour, very beautiful beach, long beach. And I was going with my goggles and felt cap and no shoes and my lungi holding up. And we were in the sea. Very wild winds were coming. So in that, the wind came and my, that felt cap flew. So I was running to catch it. And then in the waters and with the lungi, I fell down. And I was enjoying and enjoying. When I was laughing, everybody joined. Then all of them said, let us also have a bath in the sea. They also got into it. Joy of it. Otherwise, we become so serious. Oh God, what happened? There's nothing. Be yourself. Life becomes beautiful, friends. See? Therefore, what cannot be cured must be enjoyed, not endured. Conversion of endurance into enjoyment is the creed of Bhagavad Gita. See, friends, if we are students of Bhagavad Gita, we have no right to be miserable in life. We have no right to be disgusted in life. Otherwise, what will happen? You have done a mistake in studying Gita. So when you go back and you become angry, etc., immediately the kids will comment, Swami ji ka camp tha na, yahi sikhaya. And you will become more angry. You don't have to teach me. I know. What happens to Swami ji? He comes, gives lectures and goes away. I have to live with you. See, friends. After having told this common sense principle, then Bhagavan tells, look here, you have to change your focal length. Once you change your focal length, the world is beautiful. See, this any picture you take, big, this size picture, drawn with a nice oil paint or water paint, etc. And if that picture you see from a very close, about 1 inch distance, can you see the picture completely? No. That picture will be seen very ugly. Particularly, these oil painting pictures, if you see them from very close, they look very ugly. So two things happen. Either one, they are looking ugly, and second, they are not seen completely. In the same manner, if you go far distance, and from there you look at it, you can't see it properly. So what is to be done? Stand at a proper distance and then look at the picture so that you can see the picture completely and beautifully. In the same manner, stand at a proper distance and look at the picture of the life in its completeness. What we do, we take one small issue, one corner of the picture, and then we say, Mar gaye. Some small thing happens in life. See, in the morning you get up and they give you tea, and then there is, one day it happened somewhere, they gave me tea. I take black tea, no milk in that. So they gave me tea and kept it. And there was nobody around. So I was taking tea. Oh God, there is no sugar, I like sugar. Then I said, anyway, I had to take like that. So I took the whole cup of tea, and as I was going down and saw the sugar was already sitting there, what I did not stir. Whose fault it is? In the same manner, friend, stir your heart. Let the sweetness of your heart overpower and take possession of your total life. But we are only at a surface level. Something happens, sometimes there is less sugar in the tea or more spices in the sabji. Mar gaye. I am only one meal and you lose your cool. See, therefore, having come to this conclusion that we have to change our focal length. Now what is the focal length? The focal length is, Arjuna was talking, I am going to kill everybody. As if everybody is standing before Arjuna, lagao. See, who told you that you are going to kill everybody? They will come and kill you. See, katham Bhishma Maham Sankhe. As if Bhishmacharya will say, Beta, aaja maar de mujhe, like Jesus. No, one wrong notion. And second thing is, I am the killer, I am going to kill. Who kills whom in this world? And who gets killed? So Bhagavan says, like many people ask me, Swami, where from you are? And when I tell the truth, they don't like. I say, I am in your heart. Gudi ho rahi. Not like that. Tell really. They want a brand. See? And then it so happened, in my expression sometimes it comes. Like in our Punjab, it happens like that. Or in our Maharashtra, it happens like that. Once I was caught. One person says, Swami, sometimes you say you are a Punjabi, sometimes you see a Maratha, tell the truth. I said, you want to know the truth? I am a Paratha. My mummy is Punjabi and Pitaji is Maratha. The cross is Paratha. We are not interested in the truth. So where are you born? Has any one of us ever had the experience of our birth? Somebody tells you are born. Once I happened to go in a maternity ward because of some reason. And I asked, I said, this lady's child, which is the one? So she said, this number child. So I saw squirrel type, so ugly. And when I came out, her, the baby's father asked me. He was having some fight with the nurse, so she didn't allow him to go. So I went and saw and came. I said, hey, you are blessed with a daughter, and she's so sweet. I was telling straight lie. Just like a squirrel, A small baby, hardly few hours, doesn't look beautiful at all. Don't have the wrong notion. The children are beautiful, horrible, ugly. So after that was over, then I asked the nurse, what is the time of birth? She said, 2:23 at night, early morning. I said, I agree with you. I am not arguing. Please tell me, for my general knowledge, are you just waiting? Is it like that? Swamiji, I will tell you the truth. If we tell the people round figure, they don't believe us. Suppose we tell, somebody's child is born at 2 o'clock. 2:30 baje, 3:15 baje. Nobody will believe us. So we have to make a confused figure. 2:23. Okay, 2:23. Who knows what time who is born? See? And we never have the experience of our growth. Has anybody ever experienced that we are growing? We never experience growth. It is the grace of the people. For the first time, when somebody addresses you, uncle, what is the time? Don't call me uncle, call me bhaiya. See? For the first time when you are called auntie, the whole thing starts shaking. Oh God. Call me Didi, don't call me auntie. So why this happens? Because we cannot have the experience that we are growing. Many elderly people say, Swamiji, I don't feel I am old. I say, that is a tragedy. And similarly, we do not have the experience of our death. None can have. See, friends, and yet we are all the time talking about this virtual reality, not the actual reality. Husband, father, mother, brother, sister, man, woman, these are all the virtual realities, not the actual one. This is what Bhagavad Gita brings to Arjuna. The first thing, Arjuna, focus your attention for something higher in life. Then the lower problems automatically disappear. Being on the top of the world is living as conscious, blissful existence. See, friends. Therefore, going beyond the mind, and as long as the mind is there, till only all this virtual reality gathers a status of reality. Just understand this way. Who is miserable? If you find out, you will come to know you as a mother, father, brother, sister, rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy. That one is miserable. You as a human being is not miserable. See, friends. Therefore, Bhagavan brings to Arjuna's understanding, Nainam chindanti shastrani, Nainam dahati pavakaha, Nachainam kledayantyaapaha, Na shoshayati marutaha. You are crying for that which doesn't deserve. Because even if you want, you cannot kill the reality, nor it gets killed. And therefore, tasmad evam viditvainam na shochitum arhasi. If your attention is on this absolute reality, you will never become miserable. Please remember one thumb rule. In the relative world, there is not a single problem which has an absolute solution. In the absolute reality, there is not a single problem which demands any solution. The only way is to get out of the relative world and abide in the absolute self. Arjuna's problem was grandfather, brothers, sisters. That was the problem. And is it not our problem? See, when somebody else's child fails, and we get the news, what is our interaction? Somebody has to fail. If everybody passes, then who will fail? We become philosophers. And when our useless child fails, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Amiji, my only child, he also failed. I don't know why my child only fails. Other people pass in merit. One lady told me this question. So I told her, I said, Mama, you are expecting tomato to a chili plant. Swamiji, what does it mean? I said, thank God you are not understood. See, there is something called as law of genetics. It will not become null and void because you are reading Bhagavad Gita. In this manner, when you have to get out of this relative world, you have to focus attention on your own self. And after having said this, then therefore, when you start leading your life, as regards you are concerned, Arjuna, the foundation of Bhagavad Gita, the disease that human beings suffer from is called as the mamata. Mamata, minus. And the medicine that is given is samata, equanimity. Whether you take karma yoga, whether you take bhakti yoga, whether you take ashtanga yoga, whether you take jnana yoga, any path you take, ultimately you are taken to only the equanimity as the ultimate attainment. See? And therefore, here Bhagavan gives this principle. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. When you are functioning in this world, do not lose your cool and maintain your equanimity under all conditions. And when you are maintaining your equanimity under all conditions, you do not create sin or merit. See, Because sin and merit happens when I have done this thing, this arrogance comes up. On the contrary, when the things are happening in His will, we are merely the instruments in His hand. So, nimitta matra bhavasavyasachin. With this understanding and attitude, when we function, our equanimity is never disturbed. And therefore, Arjuna, as regards your concern, Bhagavan addresses to him directly that you should engage yourself in the war. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu gadachana. And thereafter, Bhagavan glorifies. When somebody is doing his duties perfectly well, he has well-defined ego. Now I'll take you one step further. Be very attentive. See what happens. We have to function in this world, and for the functioning you require an identity. But that identity should be well defined and well guarded. That identity should not overpower us. And therefore, first of all, we have to define I, who is this I, and then accordingly function. Now see, we are all sitting here. At this moment, what is my identity? I am your teacher. What is your identity? You are the students. If these two identities are perfectly maintained, your mind will not run anywhere. Then we go for taking food. So that time, what is our identity? We are the one who is eating food, and the food is to be eaten. In this manner, when we are able to play every role that we have to play perfectly well, we are always in the utter present. See, friends. And this is what is called as the Buddhi Yoga, by which we function outside, but we maintain our cool inside. And this Bhagavan says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita duskrute tasmad yogaya yujvasa yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Therefore, the secret of karma is we function in this world dynamically, yet the equanimity of our mind is not disturbed. And when Bhagavan gives so much importance that Shruti Vipratipannate yada sthasati nischala samadha vachala buddhi tada yogam avapsasi. When your mind remains achala, undisturbed under all conditions, then only you can think of something higher. Friends, when we start thinking about something higher, then only the lower things drop. See? What is the problem is our vision. We are not able to dream also something great. And therefore, when this equanimity and the intellectual understanding was emphasized by the Lord, Arjuna asked a question. Can you please tell me about a man of equanimity? How he functions in this world? And in reply to that, Bhagavan Krishna gives 18 verses in the second chapter toward the end. And there he tells, Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasya upajayate prasanna chetaso yashu buddhi paryavadishtate. He who is able to take everything cheerfully as the divine grace. Now with this topic I will conclude. Be very attentive. Prasada buddhi means what? Prasada buddhi means when we go to, let us take a temple. They give us some prasad. After we get prasad, what is our interaction toward prasad? First, we feel blessed. Second thing, we don't throw it. Third thing, we do not compare. हमको इतना ही दिया, उसको ज़्यादा दिया. We don't compare. Fourth, we don't want to improve. Suppose you are given halwa, mithai, and then you ask the same Panditji, थोड़ा अचार है क्या? No. So these four principles apply in life. Whatever comes in our life, we accept it cheerfully. We feel blessed. Second thing, we don't compare with others. There is no need to compare. Third thing, we don't reject it. And fourth and the most important thing is, we accept it cheerfully. We don't want to improve upon that. See, there was one couple somewhere in Australia. They asked me, Swamiji, we are having a discussion, you please help us. What is the problem? We have got 2 daughters. Then, now we are debating whether we should go in for the third for the son. I said, no, you should not go for the third, you should go for 1 dozen. And let all the 1 dozen be daughters only. No problem. Then I told him, I said, look here, in your own life you can see, if somebody really serves the parents before the marriage and after the marriage, it is only the daughters and never the sons. So God, when He is extremely happy, He doesn't give you any children. When He is little less happy, He gives you only daughters. When He is still less happy, He gives you son and daughters. And when He wants to punish you, He gives you only sons and to suffer throughout life. Because of the son, nobody has become happy in this world, right from Dasharatha onwards. Dasharatha died only because of Rama. And when Rama is Bhagwan, this is the condition of the father. Our kids are kabutar. Don't have wrong givings about this thing. See? Therefore, whatever is presented to us by the Lord, accept it gracefully, cheerfully, and live through life. Then only prasad buddhi is there. And as a result, such a person, prasanna chetasaha, is ever cheerful. And when we are cheerful, then only buddhi pari paramatmani avatishthate. Then only our mind can think of something higher. Otherwise, all the time we are disgusted about the world. And after having said, such a great person, ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sayyami, yasyam jagrati bhutani, sa nisha pashyato munehe. He who is thus awakened, he lives in this world very much like you and me. But he is no more overpowered by this world because he is rooted in the divine bliss that he is. After having heard this beautiful introduction, Arjuna gets a question. And with that question, the 3rd chapter begins. So what is said in the 3rd, 4th, these 2 chapters, and how we enter the 6th chapter, that we will see in our next class. Here we stop. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.